Okay, welcome to video 12 for the GSA search engine ranker. In this video, we're going to be going over the toolbox in options and under tools. And it's got some important settings in here. First of all, as you're running multiple settings in GSA, it's going to be finding duplicate copies of the same sites and submitting to, an overlap of the sites between campaigns. So you need to go in, if you're running this day and night, I would recommend doing this daily, removing duplicate URLs and removing duplicate domains. And you'll notice that GSA speeds up significantly after doing this. It's good maintenance, because if there is duplicate URLs in there, it can only submit to them, once. And if it's trying futilely to do it over and over and over again, obviously that's going to create inefficiency. So that's important maintenance that you want to do on a daily basis if you're running volumes of campaigns on a daily basis. Even if you're not, you might want to experiment with doing this regularly, because I think it definitely helps the efficiency. This cleanup is something you want to do as a maintenance measure on a weekly or a monthly basis, depending on how much you're running it. You have to determine your own schedule, but it'll clean up and remove non-working sites out of the database, which will again increase the efficiency of GSA. Now remember, we're saving the sites in the database, or a list of identified, successful, verified, and failed. So you can go here and actually see your list. Again, this has been running, for a brief period of time. It's got 77,000 URLs in here, and they're broken down by all the different types of URLs that GSA runs. So that's how you can see your database list. In here also, you can use this feature to import URLs from either a scraper or from Ahref or other places, and it'll identify the platform and sort it into your identified folder, right? So that's an important feature to, for adding links into your list from, sites that are really doing well, maybe in some of your niches, or that have recently, come up through the ranks really quickly, and they could have some very hot links there. So that'll actually sort them in by the hundreds of types of sites that are in GSA. You can also scrape for sites, search online for URLs. Let's say you look at your list after a week, and it's got hundreds of thousands of sites in there maybe, but you don't have enough, let's say, Drupal sites, for instance. So for your liking at least. So you can come in here, you can just add Drupal. It'll put the footprint in here for Drupal. You notice you can add keywords too if you want. So if you want to find just niched ones, you can choose the search engines you want to look in, right? And you just push OK, and it'll go out on the internet, and start looking for Drupal sites, and it'll add them to your list, right, of identified folders, and then which is going to end up in your successful and verified folder, Okay, so also you can import and export, URLs from projects. This is actually for adding them, but you can import and export site lists here from your site list if you want to back it up at a certain point, or maybe you have a copy of GSA that you're just installing on another server, and you want to copy your list over. Or you're deleting your list and keeping lists for very specific purposes, and you want to import and export them in here for that reason. It adds a whole nother dimension of what you can do with GSA. And so that's all the settings here in the toolbox. A very important settings. So don't forget these, because you're going to want to use these as you go. Now, also here in the bottom part of the edit function for a campaign or a project, there's also another set of tools here, right? And so these set of tools we've already gone over using the autofill feature, right? And there's the auto spin feature here, so you can just put a list of keywords in here, and whether they're comma separated or line separated, doesn't matter. Just click the appropriate button, and it'll put them in spin syntax here for use for the various parts of in the inside of settings of GSA. Also in here is import and export functions for various things, account data, whole project backups, data fields, and things like that if you want to get involved in that. And you can also some of the features that we've already gone over from inside here are also duplicated in this area, right? So from in here. So it's just another navigation method for some of these, to get to the same types of settings that we've already gone over here. But also, you notice here at the bottom here, there's also a test, which actually allows you to see in advance what the campaign is actually going to look like. And you can test as many times as you want. It'll just throw up a new spin version of everything you've got in here. You can read the text, make sure your keywords are spun properly. Your anchor text, and everything's working properly. It's a good idea to do this a few times before you start the campaign, right? To check everything out. Okay, so that's the various tools used for GSA. We're gonna now go ahead and in the next video we're gonna fire GSA up, and we're gonna show you what to look for when it's running, things to keep an eye on, how it looks and feels, so you'll know what to expect when you get things running.